Kim Jong-un's daughter is center stage at North Korea's military parade. Rumors are all over the place about her being the father's chosen successor. She has had a high-profile appearance, if you don't know, the teenage daughter of Kim Jong-un during a major military event in Pyongyang. It took place Wednesday night, February 25th, 26th, as part of a nighttime parade, marking the conclusion of the ruling Workers' Party of North Korea's 9th Congress, the country's biggest political gathering in years. State media shows photographs of the girl, widely believed to be named Kim Ju-ae. I'll spell it for you. Kim, that's easy. Ju, not Jew, J-U, and then it's a space, and then A-E. It's A-E, that's it. And thought to be around 13 years old, standing prominently beside her father and on the reviewing stand in Kim Il-sung Square. Very, very fascinating. Kim Ju-ae is dressed in a matching black leather jacket with her father, a signature style he's often worn at public events. She's positioned next to him as they watch columns of goose-stepping soldiers, tanks, cavalry, fighter jets overhead, and displays of military might. His wife, Ri Sol-ju, is seated behind them. It wasn't her first public outing that she's had. She's appeared with her father at missile tests, New Year's Eve events, and even at a parade in Beijing, fascinatingly enough. Her at the center of it, including walking the red carpet, receiving salutes from top officials, stood out as particularly symbolic. In a tightly controlled North Korean system, a lot of rumors about her being the chosen successor have intensified in recent months. South Korea's National Intelligence Service has assessed that she's moved beyond initial grooming and is now effectively designated as heir apparent. I'm not sure as to whether or not they are right about this. They have been wrong about things in the past. Signs that she's even weighing in on policy matters. She's 13. What are we talking about? Anyways, analysts point to these repeated high visibility appearances as deliberate signs to the North Korean public and elite that she could become the fourth generation of the Kim dynasty to lead. Though a female supreme leader would break the country's patriarchal traditions. Experts say the matching outfits and her placement at the heart of the parade are no coincidence, likely meant to project continuity in the regime's dynastic rule. Dynastic, as in dynasties. Anyways, let's review this clip from CBS News. If you want my honest opinion, I think he's just playing good dad. I think he's out in public going, look at my fat daughter. Like, you know what I mean? She eats well. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's evidence in Asian countries. If your children are fat, it's evidence that you are wealthy. It's like they're on the thing that the English people were on, like in the 18th century or whatever. Not the 18th. It was more like the 16th, 15th century. It was olden days is what I'm saying. I think that he's going like, look, my daughter is healthy. She is here. She is with me. She is, I'm a good father, and this is an evidence that North Korean people should try to have more children or something like that. I doubt that this is him going, look at how progressive the North Korean people. I don't think that is even in the back of his mind.
Meanwhile, as President Trump insists Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, vows his nation will expand its nuclear arsenal.
Damn.
CBS News foreign correspondent Anna Corin reports the North Korean dictator floated that, while also saying he'll stay open with dialogue with the United States.
Well, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un struck a defiant tone, announcing his country has achieved permanent and irreversible status as a nuclear power. He made those remarks at the conclusion of the party congress that happens every 5 years, pledging to continue upgrading his nuclear force, believed to be around 50 warheads.
Wow.
His daughter, Kim Ju-ae, appeared by her father's side at the military parade that followed. Well, North Korea's nuclear arsenal was interestingly...
But can we just address, they in their leather jackets... Oh my God, they look sleek. They look good. Like, he's overweight. She looks like she actually, she doesn't look fat. She looked fat when she was younger, but it looks like she's actually gotten her metabolism a bit under control. The last photo that I saw of her, she looked a little heavier. But anyways, so I actually retract my comment. She actually looks very nice. But anyways, she looks like she has a good metabolism now. But her father, the cheese eater, the guy who's been known for literally shipping in piles of Swiss cheese, he, very evidently, maybe he's going like, my daughter's in control of herself in comparison to, she is a symbol for all North Korean peoples that maybe being fat is not a symbol of wealth. Maybe that's what they're on. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Not on display. Father and daughter were wearing matching black leather jackets, and her presence will only fuel further speculation that the teenager, believed to be around 13 years of age, is being groomed for leadership. She was, however, not present at the party congress, nor was she mentioned, which analysts were keeping an eye out for. Kim criticised the US for its, quote, thuggish and hegemonic practices, and that the possession of nuclear weapons is the only means to put an end to imperialist ambitions of aggression. Well, he went on to say, we will fully prepare for confrontation with the US. But he also kept the door open for talks if, quote, the US respects our current status and withdraws its hostile policy towards North Korea. Kim said, if that happens, then we have no reason not to maintain good relations with the US.
Well, look how friendly
This
that
of course,
is.
consistent with what he has said in the past.
How
Kim
sweet.
met President Trump 3 times during his first term.
We have a
And
clip
some
from
analysts
that.
are wondering
We'll play
whether
it.
his comments provide an opening for further talks, perhaps as early as April, when President
As early as April. How fun. Here we go. It's Kim. We have a clip, 6 years old at this point. Can you believe that he met with Kim Jong-un? It feels like yesterday. I remember I was in school watching a clip of this, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. We're making moves with North Korea? How insane. And then, you know what I mean? It's 6 years have flown by. Kim Jong-un answers a question from a foreign journalist for the first time, according to The Guardian. Let's listen.
Thank you, guys. Jim, are you confident? Thank you very much.
자신 있으십니까? Well, it's too early to tell.
I love his accent. It's so not even his accent. I love his language and I love his voice. It's so gruff. He sounds like he drinks a lot. You know how some people when they drink, their vocal cords eventually start to show it, where they just they have to clear their throat every now and then and whatnot. And it's like, oof, man, maybe give it a rest. It's like I've met some people where it's like long-term alcoholics. You know what I mean? Late-term alcoholics. I worked with one, and it was sad. It was a sad situation where it's just like body decaying, vocal cords, worse than a smoker. That's how Kim Jong-un. Apparently, he's a big drinker, and by the way, his redness around the face and whatnot kind of shows it. Anyways, let's play the clip.
Well, it's too early to tell. But I wouldn't say that I'm pessimistic. But from what I feel right now, I do have a feeling that good results would come out.
I do have a feeling that good results will come out.
Thank you very much.
He looks so satisfied with himself. Listen, I don't know if it's because I was an Obama era kid. I grew up and North Korea was just always peddled to me by my teachers and whatnot as like the second Satan. You know what I mean? Like it is out there. It is ready to kill you and your family. It's going to drop a nuke on all of us actually pretty soon. So like be worried about it. You know how everybody back in the day was sold the what's it called? And you should be afraid of communists. I'm not saying you shouldn't be afraid of communists, but everybody was sold the lie about like all Russians are out to kill us all. They're ready to kill us all. They're ready to. It's over. Admittedly, some Russians were ready to kill us. You know what I mean? And some North Koreans are ready to kill us. Some of them, admittedly, want to kill us. I'm not saying that that's not a threat, but what I'm trying to say is that I think the threat is maybe a little bit overblown. The threat is overblown because they can only make it to Seattle at this point, and I do not live there, so that's not of any of my concern. I will say this parade looks pretty baller.
It's quite the look. Daddy and daughter in matching black leather coats.
Daddy
straight out
and
of the
daughter.
Matrix. North Korea is its own dystopia, and Jew A, believed to be about 13, is now tipped by South Korean intelligence as her father's chosen successor, despite the fact that a woman has never led North Korea.
That's what makes me doubt
We
it.
have certainly seen an evolution in the way state media portray the daughter. When she first appeared in November 2022, she was a little girl in a padded jacket. and pigtails, basically.
Yeah, she looks like who's the one girl, the girl who's always walking in Elston and Alley and goes like, "Guess who got a job at this thing?" She looks like the one girl from Quinceañera.
Standing in next to an intercontinental ballistic missile.
What a cute photo to have. I hope they have that framed. That photo of him and her holding hands and walking away from the intercontinental ballistic missile. I love that for them, and quite frankly, I wish that I think that me and my family, we should aim for this sort of framing. We should go to where they store the nuclear missiles in Colorado, like maybe the Cheyenne Mountain Base, and that's a good area for a family photo.
And now, when you see her, she's basically a young woman. She dresses like one. She carries herself more professionally, and it is clear to me that she has undergone some kind of training in terms of how she should carry herself in public.
Looks the same height as her dad.
Kim Jong-un sees leadership traits in her, and that he wants her to be the next leader of North Korea.
By the way, can we just mention, she knows how to dress. She really, when she throws on the jacket, she's like, okay, Dad's gonna make me wear the fucking stupid leather jacket or whatever, but I have to find a way to personalize this. She does a nice little thing where she pins her hair back, and then she does, I think it's like is it a brooch? What is the thing where it's like a pin, and then you have to tuck it in your hair, and then it like has a design on it. It's like a black, it just looks nice and whatever. It holds the hair back, and then she goes, I'm gonna bitch this up with some Chanel big Beverly Hills cunty big square glasses, and she looks like stunna, man. She looks like she's driving a Porsche down the PCH. She looks like she is partying at the OC. She looks like she's having a good time. You know what I mean? This is like, she knows how to dress. And when it comes to her father with his Chinese smuggler haircut, she's mogging, is what I'm trying to say. She's mogging. She knows, she's studied Clavicular's handbook. She understands.
Korea, that there are ways in which they can craft propaganda in a way.
She's like, compared to her father slouches in every chair that he sits in. She sits upright. You know what I mean? She sits upright and she looks very proper at every event. She is status maxing. She's like, I am a Kim.
That would prime the public for a female leader.
Bayonets to the ready. The military parade that marked the end of the quinquennial Workers' Party Congress featured the best goose steppers that the nation could find. Skis for winter warfare to fend off the enemy threat from South Korea, Japan, or the American imperialists, as the US is generally known. When the Supreme Leader salutes, you'd better do the same, and quickly. North Korea has sent soldiers to fight for Russia in the war against Ukraine, and feels it now has Russian protection.
Dude, also, can we just talk about how he's learned to MOG a little bit? Like, Kim Jong-un has learned to MOG, like, a tiny bit. Okay, can I explain? Can I explain before everybody gets mad at me? Let me talk, all right? Let me talk. He has learned from Donald Trump's handbook, the putting up the little thumbs up and then sticking your lips out like, yep, and then he, like, shakes his thumbs up, and then he, like, nods his head a little bit. He learned how to status MOG. He learned, and by the way, he learned how to sit from Donald Trump, where when he's reading something, like a speech or whatever, on his desk in the parliament that they have, not the parliament, it's not the people's parliament or anything, but whatever, in that, he sits with his arms crossed, and he reads the speech like Donald Trump in the White House. He's learned how to status MOG from this guy. And the hairline, man, he's learned how to make the atrocious hairline work. He has.
The Ninth Party Congress set the tone for the next 5 years. Some of the speeches may have been less than riveting, but the tone was clear. The Supreme Leader
Great job,
said
Supreme
they
Leader.
would expand their nuclear weapons program rather than negotiate with the Americans.
What Kim Jong-un sees is a weakened U.S. leadership role on the global stage. The speech, the report from the Ninth Party Congress exudes self-confidence. Kim Jong-un at one point said, we are at the center of a movement to build a just multipolar world.
No parade in Pyongyang is complete without fireworks, but unusually there were no displays of weaponry this time. This, then, is the world in which the teenage Jew A is trapped, a simulated reality like the Matrix, over which one day she may preside.
She seems happy. She seems happy. Don't try to tell her. Don't try to tell her who she should be or who she needs to behave like. All right. Her aunt is insane. In case you don't know, if you don't know anything about the Kim family, they're my royal family. I know a lot of people, they get obsessed about like whatever what's her name, Meghan Markle is up to. I know people get obsessed about whatever the royal families. This is my royal family, and they're the people who interest me because, admittedly, his sister, Kim Jong-un's sister, and the aunt of Kim Ju-ae, apparently, according to insiders, she's a nut. Let's get this clip from CNN.
From the powerful younger sister of the North Korean dictator, another belligerent rhetorical attack on the U.S. Quote, the U.S. is a group of gangsters. The U.S. is openly revealing its inveterate hostility toward the DPRK. Those words from Kim Yo-jong, responding to the open concern from the White House over a failed North Korean satellite launch this week. The Supreme Leader's sister reprising her role as the bad cop of the regime.
Yeah.
Kim Yo-jong is to a certain degree the dragon lady for the North Korean regime.
The dragon lady.
There's a certain point where we have to think of hers, I think, slightly more hawkish than her brother.
Kim Yo-jong, believed to be in her mid-30s, has seen her power and influence rise exponentially over the past few years. Analysts say she's a gatekeeper for her brother to North Korean elites, a key advisor on policy, someone he trusts more than just about anyone else.
Wow.
Realistically, she is the second most powerful person in the country.
But recently, another prominent female figure has publicly emerged. A young daughter, believed to be named Kim Ju-ae, thought to be around 9 or 10 years old. We first heard of her existence.
This was a few
when
years
former
ago.
American basketball star Dennis Rodman said he held her in his arms as a baby.
What a story. Kim Ju-ae, future leader potentially of North Korea, was held by Dennis Rodman on one of his trips to North Korea. God love us. God love us.
During one of his trips to North Korea about a decade ago. Since November, Kim Ju-ae has appeared at military parades with her father, at
Awesome.
missile launches, and was with him in recent days when he inspected the satellite that the regime just tried to launch. Why has she been rolled out so often recently?
Kim Ju-ae happens to be the best secret weapon that Pyongyang has right now.
Secret
because
weapon.
Chairman Kim Jong-un has been afraid of losing the world's attention.
But beyond the propaganda, analysts say it's possible that Kim could be grooming his young daughter as his heir apparent.
It's hard to imagine why he would be doing this unless there was a reason behind it. Now, part of it is he could be trying to show a softer face to the leadership and to the people. But it seems to be more than that.
Some analysts say in the future, given the notorious history of palace intrigue in Pyongyang, it's possible that Kim Ju-ae and Kim Yo-jong could develop a serious rivalry for influence over the supreme leader.
I think it's a very real possibility. There have been rivalries throughout the history of the Kim family and North Korea itself.
One caveat, South Korean intelligence recently said Kim Jong-un has a son, older than Kim Ju-ae, not yet seen in public, and there's speculation he could be the successor.
It's my assumption.
If there is an older son, why hasn't he been unveiled yet as an heir apparent?
Well, that would be in line with their history, actually, because Kim Jong-un was not revealed until about a year before his father's death and when he assumed power. So let's talk about the fact that it is very likely that up until Kim Jong-un starts showing signs of aging, like real signs of, terminal decline, which at this point, we don't know when that would be because his health doesn't appear to be the greatest, you know what I mean? He's overweight, he drinks too much, he eats a lot, and according to South Korean intelligence, even his doctors are saying that he doesn't take good care of himself behind the scenes. He doesn't have his father's smoking habit, apparently, which is great. So besides that, it would be keeping in line with the country's history if they didn't actually unveil him until he were to become an actual contender for leadership about a year, maybe two before his father's actual death, just like how he was unveiled in 2010 and then his father died in 2011. That's my assumption, ladies and gentlemen. You can take whatever take you want from this. It could be a feminine phenomenon on her way to leadership in North Korea. And at that point, guys, that's going to leave us in a weird case because I believe all women. And if she tells me that the imperialist Americans are out to slaughter her regime, we're going to have to put on the red hat, guys. It's unfortunate, but also free Ghislaine. That's just what